November 6, 1869, a date that would go down in American sports history. For on that day, the College of New Jersey Tigers made the 20-mile trip to New Brunswick, New Jersey, to take on the Rutgers College Queensmen in a new code of football. And as there was no official governing body for this new vision of the game, it would be played with the Rutgers House rules, heavily inspired by the Football Association's 1863 rule set. It disallowed carrying or throwing of the football, and more closely resembled the association code of today than the gridiron code we know and enjoy, especially when one considers it was played with a spherical ball as opposed to the optimized prolate spheroid of today. Despite this, the game that would be played would set in motion the adaptations that would one day create the game so popular today. The match would eventually kick off in front of around 100 spectators, split up into 10 different sections called games, starting with the kickoff and concluding when a score was made. The leader after 10 games would be the victor of the match. Unlike the game we know today, this match pitted 50 men against each other on the field at the same time, 25 apiece, 11 infielders who played on their own side defending their goal, 12 bulldogs playing on the opposing side of the field looking to score a goal, one sitting back in essentially a goalie position, and one opposite the goalie, waiting patiently near the goal line hoping to strike quickly if they received the ball. The visiting Tigers were captained by future Chief Justice of the New Jersey Supreme Court, William Gummer, while the hometown Queensmen were captained by William J. Leggett. The Queensmen also chose to wear scarlet-colored turbans and handkerchiefs to make themselves more easily distinguishable from the New Jersey players. This decision would eventually contribute to the Scarlet in the present-day nickname of the Scarlet Knights. Rutgers would quickly find themselves in an early lead, up 2-0, as both S.G. Gano and G.R. Dixon would utilize flying wedge plays to get scores. This tactic saw early success as the Queensmen would create essentially a wedge around the ball carrier to push their way through the Tigers' infielders. Though in the fourth game with Rutgers up 2-1, New Jersey's J.E. Michael, better known by his nickname Big Mike, was able to break through the wedge and tie the match up at 2-2. In the fifth game, however, Rutgers would find a star on their team, an infielder Madison M. Ball, a wounded Civil War veteran who utilized his quickness and unique kicking style to shut down the Tigers' Bulldogs, eventually setting up a G.R. Dixon score in the sixth game to put Rutgers up 4-2. Unfortunately for the Queensmen, in the seventh game, a miscue by two Rutgers infielders would set up an easy New Jersey score to let them back in the match. Utilizing that momentum, the Tigers would implement a flying wedge play of their own, headed by Big Mike J.E. Michael, and tie things up at 4. Heading into the final two games, Rutgers captain John Leggett implemented a strategy to break the game open. He advised his teammates to keep the ball down on the ground and utilize their smaller statures, quickness, and better ball skills to get past the New Jersey defense. With this strategy change, the Queensmen would take the final two games and clinch the match 6-4. Though the rules of the game were much different than today, the aftermath? Not so much. The Rutgers students swarmed the field after the victory and chased the defeated Tigers to their carriages, who had to quickly make their 20-mile trip back to their home campus. A week after the first game was played, a second would occur, this time on New Jersey's home turf in Princeton, New Jersey. After their devastating loss 7 days prior, their home rules would allow for a free kick to occur if a kicked ball was caught in the air, and this allowed the Tigers to utilize their size advantage and completely neutralize the Queensmen strategy, as the Tigers would cruise to an easy 8-0 victory and a 1-all series tie. Eventually, a split national championship would be awarded to both teams retroactively. Though the code played 150 years ago would probably be unrecognizable to a casual fan of the game today, it still set the groundwork for the game we now enjoy. So next time you sit down to watch a football game, remember back to November 6, 1869, when 50 men from the College of New Jersey and Rutgers College got together to play a silly little game that one day evolved into a juggernaut in American sports. Thank you all for watching this episode of Football History. If the original code of what eventually became gridiron football sounds interesting to you, I advise you take a look at Gaelic football, a code developed in Ireland and first played in 1885. Though not identical, I feel more closely resembles the original code that was played back in 1869, such as more players, continuous play, and a spherical ball. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you have not already, and are interested in what I feel is great football content. Also, if you have a specific player, team, league, event, or other topic you'd like to see in a football history video, feel free to leave it in the comments section, and I'll probably end up making a video on it. Thanks again for watching. Bye.